afternoon and welcome to Generate More Advertising Revenue Through Contests and Promotions. This is the 5th webinar in the America East News Media Summit webinar series. My name is Mary Firestone and I am the Manager of Meetings and Member Services for the Pennsylvania NewsMedia Association. The PNA has organized a series of complimentary webinars that will feature much of the content that was originally scheduled for the America East Media Summit that was canceled due to the coronavirus pandemic. Today's session will be recorded and we will be sharing a link to that recording in a follow-up communication later this week. In today's session, our speakers, Julie Foley, Director of Affiliate Success at 2nd Street, John Derr, Publisher of Chestnut Hill Local, Jaime Gianini, Strategic Sales Manager at the RJ Media Group, and Stephanie Fairbanks, an Advertising Sales Manager of the Pocono Record, will teach you how to build, organize, sell, and stage promotions in both digital and print. The webinar will begin with our speakers presenting their information and will then open up for a question and answer session that will include questions developed from information provided by attendees prior to the webinar, as well as questions received in the webinar chat. You can find the chat in the upper right side of your GoToMeeting window with the chat bubble icon. So we will begin today with Julie Foley.
Thanks, Mary. Let me just go ahead and share this deck. Hey, guys. All right, hang on just one second. Let me do one more thing to make it perfect for you. I'm just looking for the little, there it is, don't go away again. There you are, perfect, there we go. All right, hey, I'm Julie Foley. Thank you so much for being here today. Like Mary said, I'm the Director of Affiliate Success for 2nd Street, a contest promotions email provider. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the opportunity that y'all have right now as we're ending 2020 and moving into 2021, and with your advertisers especially. I want to talk to you and really tee up what Stephanie, John, and Jaime are going to talk about with what they do with contests and promotions, and really with the opportunity around, you know, how you're booking 2021 annual campaigns and spends with your advertisers, and how you can get the most revenue and efficiently sell to get the most revenue, and what are some of the things you should be focused on. So I think what another thing I'd want to share with y'all is that promotions are really great for small businesses or small and medium-sized businesses in your market. Promotions will help incentivize customers that might be reluctant to patronize a business and also replace lost customers. So for people in your market, for your advertiser, for your local businesses, pitching promotions, and I'm going to talk to you about the benefits of them, is really going to be a game changer for them and how they're going to be able to replace lost customers in Q4 and then also moving into 2021. But the challenge I think that we see is that maybe we're afraid to pitch something different or new right now, especially because we don't want to lose what they're currently spending, right? But do you have advertisers that are spending elsewhere that you want to pitch an idea to? Maybe we're just afraid because we don't know what we should be doing and how we should be pitching it to them. We're now afraid to ask for more money. But what I'm hoping that you're going to walk away with today after the rest of the team talks and after we have our Q&A is that you're going to have the confidence that this is actually the best thing to be pitching them right now, to add value to the packages that they have and also to help them with what they so desperately need, which is those customers. Especially if you've been pitching them the same thing over and over and over, year after year. Is it just print? Is that all you've been pitching them with a small digital campaign? Why not pitch them something that's going to drive measurable results and ROI, something that they can actually measure, an outcome that they can measure, an ROI that they can measure? So the solution, I have 4 main solutions for you, and then each of our speakers are going to go into detail how they do it, okay? So the first one is with your bigger advertisers and with your current initiatives, things you already do, adding promotions into those buckets. So that could be, well, let's just take this quote here. I love this quote. This is from our friend Rebecca, my friend Rebecca Caprelli at Gannett, the promotions, Vice President of Promotions. And she says, y'all, make it easy on yourself. Seek out your current campaigns in your market. Generate additional revenue with those current things you already do, and add advertiser benefits by packaging in a promotion. Work smarter, not harder, right? And I think this is so perfectly aligned with what I want to talk about today. So you have a lot of opportunity to expand upon what you're already doing by adding in a promotion, whether that is a quiz or a sweepstakes or a photo contest or a bracket or a ballot, whatever it might be. Is it a wedding event? Is that going virtual? What about a great sweepstakes for that? Is it a community leaders program? What about a nomination ballot? Is it some sort of weather program that you have? Whatever it is, there's got to be an initiative that you do where a promotion can add value for your advertisers and add revenue for you. And we need to be creative and be thinking about those initiatives and adding in those things. Like for the class of 2020, a lot of y'all were able to do a promotion for our graduates, for 2020 graduates. So be thinking about those buckets like teachers, back to school galleries, athletes, healthcare, students, right? Be thinking about each one of these and how you can add in a promotion to that. Look for things that people are missing out on. If it was a home and garden show, if it's a local event, a breast cancer walk, how can we take that virtual and add a promotion to make it fun, but also add more value and more revenue for you from your advertisers? Like this green space of the week example, I like this because this was part of a weather coverage that they already did, that the media company already did, right? And they added in quizzes and this green space of the week photo contest from Ace Hardware, and they were able to generate $40,000 in additional revenue with something they were already doing with this client. Another bucket I want to talk about is recurring revenue. Campaigns that run 9 to 12 months. That might be something like Amazing Teachers. It's a sponsorship model of revenue. It's every month and it's a larger dollar amount investment, but you set it once and it runs throughout the whole year. And there's a lot of audience engagement throughout this whole campaign, something like a Hometown Heroes. So this is an example of one from the Port Charlotte Sun, $20,000 in revenue. That's $1,500 a month for 9 months. And then there was prizes awarded. And then a teacher of the year, at the end of the year, they gave one teacher a $5,000, trip for 2. So this is an example of recurring revenue, of something that you could be doing that's gonna generate revenue for you for the entire year. The third bucket I would want you to focus on is things that are gonna drive leads for your advertisers, leads for your local businesses. They need it now more than ever. And leads really are the new currency now. Leads more than just, oh, we have this reach and we have this many people that read this and this many people that are online. People want leads. They want people that are interested in a new roof, pool, HVAC, landscaping, whatever it might be. Orthodontics, right? Braces. And if you, guys, this is so, so important. If you can do this, if you can position yourself closer to the sale with your existing customers, you can not only retain the business that you have, but y'all, you can grow it. And you've established your credibility. And I know that the folks on the line are going to talk about how they did it. I have seen what Jaime and Stephanie, for instance, those two for sure, have done with this. They are like the queens of this, of not only retaining, but growing with their existing customers by adding in promotions and drawing out those leads and that return and that measurable outcome that they're going to be able to do for their clients and that they have done for their clients. Here's an example of one though, that was for a landscape lighting, fixer-upper home services type client. It's called Mr. Electric. These guys were ready to cancel their spend and the sales rep saved this annual buy. It was threatened, of course, by COVID. Don't have the money, all it says here is that in case of emergency, cancel everything, right? And so the sales rep said, what if we were able to drive leads for you by doing some sort of great sweepstakes in addition to what we do with our core products? And we have some great lead gen questions for you that's going to drive hot leads for your business. And the client said, fine, let's try it. And they added in an additional $1,300 on top of their package. They added more revenue and they were able to generate for the client over 200 qualified leads for people that were in the market for a local electrician. And that's what I'm talking about here. Or here's one from Syracuse.com, financial preparedness quiz from an investment company. Great lead gen questions of like, are you in the market for financial planning? Like now more than ever, I think a lot of people are looking at this and this is the type of client to be targeting for this kind of stuff. Hurricane season, we're in it right now. Wilmington Star News doing something just like this. Insurance company identified 62 people that wanted a free all-inclusive insurance quote. If you know anything about insurance, that is money. That is money. That is a lot of money for that. And not only that, but don't forget, you can also add email opt-ins for your own paper, for your own lists. 82% opt-in rate for them, for their paper, right? First day of school, photo contest, orthodontics. It goes on and on. There's so many different case studies that I could share with y'all, but I want to get to everyone else. And the fourth and final one is ballots. And I could talk about this for 5,000 hours. And I have and I will, but not today. And if you want to talk best of, and if you haven't planned it this year, or you're thinking about how you're going to do it differently next year, call me, beat me, reach me, something, because we need to talk about best of, because it is going to be, yes, you can still do it. Yes, even in 2020, yes, you can still do it. It's the top revenue and audience initiative that you will do all year. And we see an average of 30% growth year over year in revenue. Yes, even this year. Yes, it's possible. And the Best of Sumter in Sumter, South Carolina, this is a 5-day-a-week, 10,000 cert paper, was able to increase this year, selling in the middle of March and April, which was not a fun time, increase votes, increased nominations, and was able to keep their net revenue the exact same. They did not lose any revenue this year. They did not lose any revenue. So I have sales sheets for that, and I really would love to talk to you about it. So the conversation to have with your advertisers, you need to replace lost customers. Let's talk about how you have a deal for them, and let's uncover those leads for you. Let's help you retain existing customers. Let's put a coupon in when everybody takes a quiz or enters a sweepstakes. Let's capture email addresses for you so that you can establish that one-on-one relationship with people in our market that are in the market for your goods and services. Let's build out demographic information and data on people that are looking to buy or sell a home and that want to be contacted by your real estate company. Let's get you branding and community presence around programs like teachers, athletes, scholars, graduates, heroes, nurses, first responders, whatever it might be. And let's give you a campaign that works, that you can track the ROI on, that has measurable outcomes, and that we can actually say, here are the 200 leads. They're going to be delivered to your inbox. Go nuts with them. You know, here are the customers that you need. And who did that for you? The media company. We did that. The newspaper, we did that for you. And they'll come back for more. We have sales sheets to help you with that. One-sheeters for newspaper for every type of media company. So just remember the 4 things we talked about today. Advertisers want those measurable results, okay? So we have to be focused on driving those. Work smarter and not harder, right? Add in promotions to your current advertisers, your current initiatives, and don't forget about those recurring revenue campaigns like heroes, teachers, like we talked about. Be creative, right? And get the most out of those current initiatives. Think about how you can add in a fun sweepstakes or a photo contest or a bracket to something that you're already doing. And don't forget about best of. Don't sleep on it, and call me if you want to talk about how you can grow it. Yeah, don't sleep on best of. That's the last one. And I've got some good resources, but we can get to that. You'll get this deck. There's so much fun stuff for you. So I'll leave it with that, and we can move on to the next speaker.
Thank you, Jolie. All right, so up next we have John Derr.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Can you put my 5 slides? Okay, I'm going to actually talk from a specific perspective here, and I've, in my long and anonymous newspaper career, you know, I've had 2 sides. I've worked at the 3rd largest paper in the state, and now I'm a publisher of what might be maybe the 3rd largest newspaper on the street. So it's coming from a small newspaper perspective for this talk here. So to fill you in, the Chestnut Hill Local is a small 4,000 circulation paid weekly newspaper in Northwest Philadelphia. Our web traffic is about 55,000 to 60,000 visitors per month. We just launched a redesigned website. Before that, we just had a WordPress site that was clunky and ugly and green. And, and that's why I don't have any examples of what we've done, of the promotions we've done to show you, because all of our links were broken, so I couldn't get screenshots. And then on any given month, our web display revenue can range from about $1,200, so that's pretty low, $1,200 to $1,800. That's just from our display. So we don't do a classified allocation, but that's why promotions are so great, is because with one promotion we can practically almost double 1 month's worth of display advertising by doing a good online contest or promotion. So, our goal is to continue to produce a print publication for the foreseeable future. I mean, we don't feel we can survive on just a digital. We don't, at this point, sell digital services, so we're pretty much, display ads and promotions. So, Mary, could you jump ahead? I think now I'm ready, and you can jump past that. There you go. That's good. So I do want to say we don't do as many promotions as I'd like. We didn't do any before I started here. But one of the first things I did, I know within the first month or so, when I became publisher, was to sign on with 2nd Street. I was familiar with them from my days in Lancaster, and I did know that we did not have enough web revenue, and we weren't going to have enough strictly from display advertising. So, and I wanted to build engagement on the site. So engagement and additional revenue, additional digital revenue. I thought, I think contests and sweepstakes and quizzes is the way to go. So the things we have done, we've done a holiday storefront decorating contest a couple times. We've done a quiz about Greece for a Greek restaurant that was giving away tickets for dinner and a show. We did a Philadelphia flower show ticket giveaway. We've done a local heroes photo gallery. We've done, the graduates photo gallery, and we're working on doing a pandemic puppy photo contest as well. A lot of people got puppies during the pandemic, so we're working with a local pet store, and the winners of that contest are going to use it in their print ads. So what I'd like to sort of talk about is why, first of all, why do online contests and promotions, which I sort of did already, and then I'm going to talk about why to include print, and why I think it's important to include print, even though these are primarily online contests. So, as many of you know, small newspapers depend heavily, for their web revenue on banner advertising. But also, we all know that the effectiveness of banner ads has been called into question, especially recently, and seems to be decreasing and going out of favor of many advertisers. So it's important, for us to be selling results and doing things that are getting results for our customers. So, and like I said, digital revenue for small paper with a small audience, the revenue from digital display is, at risk and not much anyway. So, you can charge more for a well-designed contest package. And also it builds engagement, as I said. So, part of what we're doing is trying to build excitement, not only about, what we're doing, but about our customers' products and services as well. So a good contest can do that as well. And what I found also here is that, sometimes I worry that with our small size, with our smaller audience, that we aren't, it's not enough to move the needle to a point where, advertisers are going to be happy with that. So, the contests and promotions, they seem to get shared more, they get passed along. So you get some additional audience that through social media and all. So, and with a vendor like 2nd Street, the advertisers, the public. I know when we first did our first contest here, I got a lot of comments like, wow, that's really neat. How did you guys do that on that state? And that, that we got credit for that technology, even though we had nothing to do with it. So, so next, Mary. I think it's really important to include print. And I think a lot of us are looking for ways to get out of print or to move things out of print and onto online, because of the cost associated with newsprint, or sometimes there's extra work involved in having a contest that also has a portion of it in the paper. So some good reasons to include print or to not exclude print is that you can show a higher value of the program and then charge more to the customer for that package if you include, when you're showing, here's this promotion for, let's say, $800, I'm just throwing it in. But you're showing that, there's going to be 3 ads in print, promoting the contest, your logo is going to be in, it's going to reach this audience, plus you're getting this online and this online. And if you can, pack in that value and then show this is a total package worth, whatever, $2,000, but here's this for you for $800. It's got a lot more, there's a lot more cachet in that. Then also, obviously, you're reaching more people, a different audience, so there's increased response for the contests and quizzes. There's more exposure, obviously. Print subscriber retention. When we continue to push everything out of print and online, the contests and opportunities to win prizes, et cetera, unless you go online to do it, it keeps taking away some of the value from people who primarily read us in print. So if our intention is to continue printing a print publication, then and I know we couldn't survive without a print publication with the subscription revenue and the advertising revenue that comes from print. So we place a value on maintaining a strong print publication. So this is part of that strategy, is to give our print readers the same, as much of the advantages and opportunities as online. So, and then the benefits, I feel, outweigh the downside. I mean, the downside is you're going to incur newsprint costs, and also typically if you're going to have a component of the contest, whether it's a quiz that's also in the paper, or whether it's a reader's choice where you're also putting the ballots in the paper, there's some definitely some work involved with counting ballots, or taking the quizzes and doing whatever you have to do with those. So I understand that, but my feeling is that the print product is, and the benefits you get from also including the print readers is worth the extra effort. Okay, next. So these are probably things that many of you are already doing, or at least you already know, but here's some ways to include print. And that is, if you're doing a photo contest or you have a photo gallery, to include some of the winners, maybe the top 3 or top 5, in a print ad and give more exposure to the sponsor by putting their logo in with the winners. Run quizzes or ballots in the paper as well as online. So the ballots, when I was in Lancaster, I was really adamant about the ballots also being in the paper, and we received lots of ballots from print readers. Now this year, I know because I still live in Lancaster, they went to an all digital ballot. It wasn't in the paper, but as I read, I learned that they did get more response than ever. They got more votes than ever And that's great on that level, but I'm not sure what they may have lost in print, because I know a lot of people enjoyed that. I mean, it was great effort from people who were voted for on buying papers and getting those tear sheets in the hands of people they wanted to vote for them. So there was that additional excitement that was built around that. And then, and to that point, having a sponsor or people who want, someone's votes to be a collection place for those print ballots is also, builds some foot traffic, and lets that place of business, build up some contest of their own or some prize of their own by when people come in to drop off those. So I think there's value in that as well. So, and then, allowing people to send in photos rather than upload them, perhaps. And also using print, to include an article about the contest when it comes out, include quotes from the sponsor and a photo of the owner, the staff, etc. And then you have the opportunity to, frame a copy of the article and, and present it to the sponsor. And that helps with retention for the next year. It kind of beats sending them a link saying, here was the contest you did last year. Really good again. So, and there are advantages of print advertising over digital advertising, such as, noticeability and recall. And, our goal is to get the maximum response possible for sponsors and advertisers. So I believe, just to sum this up is, the worst thing in this industry is to be labeled the print guy. I'm not trying to be the print guy. I am just, a realist and also, a revenue guy. So I find that including print helps to, grow the amount of that you can charge for a contest, and also helps advertisers and sponsors get results, makes it worth their while, and gets people through the door. So that's it.
Thank you, John. All right. Next up, we will have Jaime. I'm just preparing your slides now.
Thank you. I apologize, everyone. Apparently, I can't use a computer today, so Mary's taking care of my PowerPoint. But I just want to say, a lot of people keep asking me, do you think newspaper is dying? Everyone assumes it is. But just kind of piggybacking off of everything John pointed out, right now, more than ever, newspaper is unbiased, it's important, and it is the most trusted news source still to this day. So I don't know about what's going on in your markets, but out here, even on social media, everyone's sharing what us as a newspaper are putting out because we're more trusted than even the news outlets on TV or radio. So hopefully that trend continues. So I'm Jaime Gianini. I'm with the Record Journal. I'm the strategic sales manager. I specialize in promotions. And I feel bad for Julie because she must be so sick of hearing about everything we're doing. But I'm here to share with you guys the secret sauce behind the Record Journal's success and how we've created impactful growth through sustainable promotions. So Mary, if you want to go to the next slide. The way we've done this is through a few different type of buckets. We do single sponsor contests, multi-sponsor contests, content sponsorships, and multi-month campaigns. These are great because they align with the content we're already producing. Events, which allows us to get out and see our community a little bit more. And my favorite, region-wide ballots. So we're going to start with single sponsor contests. Mary, if you don't, perfect. All right, so with single sponsored contests, there are so many different ways that we can put out promotions and gain the trust of our local advertisers. I'm just gonna give you guys a few examples of what we have done in market, and I'd be more than happy to answer questions or bang around ideas for your advertisers. But for us, single sponsor contests, we normally charge between $4,000 to $6,000 for them. We are a smaller newspaper. We're in Central Connecticut, so smaller markets can do less expensive. I've seen bigger markets do them for 40, 50,000, but it's really what your market dictates. So I want to show you guys what the dental group down the street has been doing with us. This is someone who never advertised with us before. They tried out a contest once. It was super irrelevant. It was a cutest couples contest. They're like, nobody even cares about dental work. They just care about putting their picture in. But we got a ton of people to submit photos of them with their significant others. They got a massive lead list, and all of these leads that came in had questions of, do you currently have a dentist? Is your mouth in pain? And other relevant questions where they were able to not only brand themselves, but generate new clients, build their business. And because they had so much success, they have now committed to running 5 contests a year with us. And when I talk about it not being relevant, their giveaway for these photo contests is a $50 gift card to Dunkin' Donuts. It has nothing to do with teeth. It's really just an ego-driven photo contest. So because of the success this has provided them, we have a sustainable revenue of $20,000 per year with this previous non-advertiser. Now, I also want to show you what happens when an advertiser gives away a relevant prize. Mary, if you don't mind clicking. Again, sorry, I can't use computers today. We teamed up with the local community college. They were looking to engage more people, boost registration and enrollment because it was down substantially. So after speaking with them, they agreed to give away a semester of college. And for the record, it only cost them $2,000 to give that away. So don't worry about how much it's going to cost them. Ask, and they may actually say, sure, we'll give you something significantly valuable. But what ended up happening is we put out this contest, we promoted it through all of our marketing means, including newspaper, and we engaged with an unusual audience, which was a younger group of individuals who were looking to further their education. They received 459 entries. These are from people who want to further their education. Every single applicant is relevant, and now they own the contact information for every single one of those applicants. We also were able to grow our internal database by 118, which is great because, again, this is a younger audience that we normally don't engage with. And of course, we generated $5,500 in revenue. This was such a success for the local college that they have agreed to do it. We're going to do it every other year. But it was really wonderful. It branded them in a really unique way. And they're able to go to that contact database that we provided them and use it continuously until they get all 459 people walking through that door. All right, Mary, if you can go to the next slide. All right, so now multi-sponsor contests. Why do we want to do these? These are cost effective. These allow your smaller businesses who can't commit to that $5,500 spend to test out a contest. It's engaging. It builds brand awareness for all of your advertisers. It gets lead generation for all of them as well. And of course, most importantly, they are fun. So, does anyone here have pets? Raise your hand. Perfect, most of us do. So again, this is an ego-driven contest. Everybody wants to share their pet because everyone thinks their pet is the cutest. For the record, mine are. So we teamed up with a local doggy daycare and a local pet supplies company. And they split the cost of a contest, and we did a Cutest Pets contest, and we got the cutest photos. We put them in our paper, we promoted them on social media, we promoted them, of course, on our website and through email blasts as well. We had 302 photo entries over the course of 2 weeks. We had almost 1,200 votes by 901 people. And you want to talk about sharing on social media? People were constantly pushing this out, which is branding for us, it's branding for our advertisers, and it makes our local community feel good because everyone wants to show off their pets. This also helped us as a newspaper grow our opt-in database by 342. So cute contests like this are always successful. But with photo contests, they also have a medium barrier of entry. Not everybody wants to upload a picture. So with that said, how do you do a low barrier of entry where people just have to click a button to submit? And how successful can that be? Mary, if you want to click really quickly. Every year, we do a countdown to Christmas contest. This was originally the 12 days of Christmas. We upped it to 16 because we had 16 advertisers who were clamoring over getting into this. This was just a basic sweepstakes. You could enter once a day, every single day for 16 days. We had an interactive calendar on our website. We had a calendar in our newspaper that updated every single day in our daily paper. And each advertiser was highlighted once, and they owned a day. So if you look on the left-hand side, that's what our calendar looked like. And if you look on day 16, Salon Nathaniel, they gave away on December 16th a blowout. One person out of everyone entering won a blowout. The following day, you would get a gift card to Phil's Lock Shop for $50. This was such a big hit. We had almost 1,200 people enter almost 7,600 times. It is one of our most sought after contests. I was blown away by the results. We also were able to grow our internal database by 843. We were able to provide all 16 advertisers lists of people who wanted to hear from them continuously. And Mary, if you want to click one more time, we were able to generate $8,000 in revenue in what is otherwise a normally very slow period for us. So easy barrier of entry is sweepstakes. Highly recommend everybody do it and throw them into your, we normally did like a shopping guide. Nobody ever really looked at the shopping guide. We were not making money off it. So we moved it to this and it just exploded. All right, Mary, if you want to click. Thank you. Now, content sponsorships. We all have really engaging, relevant content that we put out on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. And we need to capitalize on that. So the Record Journal has a number of different content sponsorships that we have available. One of them is Things to Do. We publish a calendar every day in the Record Journal, and we keep it up online where people can submit what they're doing and where you can go, like if you have a tag sale or a concert or any other type of event that you can go out to, which unfortunately we can't really do much nowadays, but we publish it in print. We do an email blast on a weekly basis. We publish it in social media, and we also write articles about certain events online. We've given our advertisers the opportunity to align their brand with this content. And our first sponsor was actually a dental group that just wanted to be seen more in one of our local communities. So we charge for content sponsorships $2,500. Again, highly recommend looking into your own market if you want to do something like this to see what you would charge. But this was swept up instantly. On top of that, Mary, if you want to click through, sorry. We not only had Things to Do, we also had a real estate one. We were going to bring this out to a home improvement contractor, and before we could even launch the sales flyer that you see right here, we had a real estate team, not even a company, just a team, snatch this up. We've also done obituary sponsorships, which that one, we couldn't even finish the flyer before someone purchased that. Healthy living, everyone's thinking about being healthy, go and sell it to a local gym. And then of course, Mary, if you want to go to the next slide, we have our Athletes of the Week content. And this, of course, is extremely engaging because you're working with your local high school athletes. You're engaging with not only them, but their teachers, their coaches, and of course, their families, which is mom, dad, siblings, grandparents, and everybody in between. So I highly recommend taking what you're already doing, aligning it into a content sponsorship, and pitching it to some of your best advertisers. Now, why don't we talk a little bit about events? And I'm going to continue with the Athletes of the Week campaign. So every year, we do an Athlete of the Week contest where every week our local community votes on their favorite athlete. And at the end of the year, we do a really fun red carpet style event. And this is, of course, in conjunction with Athletes of the Week, where we invite all those top athletes out, we feed them, we celebrate them, and we give awards to the top athletes in 24 different categories. We open this up to our local community. If they want to join in on the fun, they can be there with a table, they can give away scholarships, they can engage with these families in a deeper level than just newsprint or just online. Mary, if you don't mind clicking, sorry. I went a little crazy with pictures, sorry guys. All right. We also do design an ad. Does anyone here currently do something like this where your local advertisers have the local students create ads? Show of hands. I am shocked I'm not seeing more hands. So,
may I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Okay. How did you handle it last year? Because ours fell flat because school wasn't in session. We usually do it in May, June.
Okay, so we did it. It was literally, we get everything out to the schools in February. And as soon as we got everything out to the schools, everything shut down. So just for total transparency, a lot of us sales reps went to our neighbors and asked their kids to draw some of the ads. A lot of the teachers couldn't organize their students because we were just starting to get into virtual learning. So we had probably about 15 or 20 classes that were able to do it and send it in. Otherwise, unfortunately, the sales reps went to our next door neighbors, or some of my reps have kids who were like, all right, draw this for me and we'll publish it. So tough year for this. But aside from that, for those that do not do a design and ad, I highly recommend it. What you do is you team up with your local schools. We use our elementary and middle schools, and we go out to advertisers, and for a certain rate, we charge $285, $400, and $600 for a quarter, half, and full page respectively. We'll go to our advertisers and say, a class is going to create your ad for you. There will be one child's ad selected as a winner, published in our paper. It's really cute, it's fun, and it gets you right in front of that family. But as with a lot of other newspapers, we found this was starting to kind of lose steam after, I want to say, our 30th year doing it. We went from, maybe $5,000 a year down to $3,000, down to $2,000. So we decided to inject some life into this by doing a big event. We teamed up with a local theater, and we now invite all of those first place students who were published in the paper out. We feed them pizza, we feed them way too much candy, we get a DJ, we party a little bit, and then we show their ad on a big screen, we bring them up, we give them a certificate. It's a really nice feel-good event. As soon as we implemented this, we went from making $2,000 on this project up to $32,000 just from one event. And we sold sponsorships with this as well. And that included, believe it or not, like funeral homes wanted to get out there to show what they're doing for the community, independent living facilities who wanted to get in front of those families who were maybe starting to think about what their parents were going to be doing. There's a lot of opportunity, and it's a feel-good event. We also, since I know we're all networkers in here, we also do something called a 4-chamber event. This was a spinoff of what we had celebrated as our 150th anniversary. We've now made an annual networking meeting. We are very close with our 4 local chambers. So every November, we invite all of their members into our office space for a high-powered, exciting, and fun networking opportunity. And we theme them as well. So we did one, it was casino night. Everyone came in and they had to go to vendor booths to get a card. And the person with the best poker hand at the end of the night won a trip to the local casino. But those cards required you not only to meet your vendors, which were sponsors, but also that you had to network and meet people from other chambers. So it was a way for the chamber to grow themselves. We actually have an insurance company that has committed to sponsoring this indefinitely because of how successful it was. And this is key B2B contacts. So talk about lead generation. This year, we're already discussing how we're going to do it virtually. And we're hoping to do some speed networking, maybe a breakout room with our main sponsor. but more to come. If you're interested in what we do, contact me in early November. Mistaken is going to be our citywide ballot. Mary, if you can just click over, perfect. So just so you guys all know, the Record Journal right now is in the thick of our Reader's Choice Awards. We just got all the nominations back. We just started launching our sales efforts for the winners as of yesterday. And I am excited to tell you that our revenue is flat to last year, which is huge, all things considered. On top of that, our votes have gone up by, I want to say, 40%, because people are home, they're bored, and they have nothing else to do aside from vote for their favorite businesses. So even though with COVID and a lot of businesses unfortunately having to close their doors, it is more relevant now than it ever has been, because the community is coming out in waves to support their favorite businesses. So Reader's Choice for us, we have been doing this year is our 18th year, but I am going to talk between 2016 to last year, 2019. So for the evolution, so in 2016 and all the years prior to that, we ran just a voting round, and we put out a special section announcing winners, and it was fun. People wrote in ballots. They'd eventually go online to vote, and we'd put out a flimsy little 10-page pull-out section that would go into our paper. That was that. Now in 2017, we tested what I like to call the gatehouse model. And what this did was it took our voting round and it split it into two. So we would have a blank ballot where people would go online and they'd write in their nominations. We would then tally those nominations, do a second round of voting with the top 5, and then we would go out with the winners. In 2018, we put on a kick butt event. And I'm talking black tie, red carpet, lots of alcohol, a little too much alcohol. And we announced the winners at the event. It was so much fun. In 2019, because everybody was so excited over the event, we just saw all of the excitement pour into revenue. And as far as that revenue goes, I'll show you our numbers and I'll show you how we did it. So in 2016, we were $25,000 for Reader's Choice. This is how we had been for, 15 years? In 2017, we split our voting round into 2 separate rounds, and we tripled that. So we were now at $89,000 just from splitting the votes. In 2018, we added the event. We finally hit 6 figures. We were up to $136,000. And this was a test of how the event was going to go. Now that we saw how successful that event was and how excited our advertisers were to be a part of that, we not only saw our voting rounds increase because people wanted to get into that event, we saw our winners tab also increase substantially to $235,000. Again, this is this increased 10 times over the course of 4 years. That's it. And again, we are already on track to do just the same as we did last year for this year, where a lot of other markets are unfortunately not keeping up because they haven't tried it or they don't think it's going to be successful this year. So just from last year to this year, adding an event, we increased 79%. We were hoping to do another 30% this year, but Julie, hold me accountable to that next year, okay? All right, so the sales process. Of course, you need to incentivize the sales staff. We were giving away trips to our local casino, tons of money, and just a lot of exciting things that got our sales team excited to really pitch this out. Maximize focus. You want to assign a sales leader who will be the leader of the pack and get everyone else really trying to hone in and get to that number 1 spot, because salespeople are competitive. All right, you want to build achievable goals and a stretch goal. An achievable goal is 30% year over year. Your stretch goal, try to make it achievable, but shoot for the moon. Our first year of doing an event, we wanted to cross the 6-figure mark. Nobody thought we were going to. So we put a special surprise as our giveaway. And as soon as we hit that, my publisher and I had to get together to figure out what that special surprise was, but it was awesome to have to be put into that position. Obviously, provide transparent tracking. Again, salespeople are competitive and they want to be number one. And have a kick butt event. I can't say enough how important it is to do something fun for your local advertisers. This is something that not a lot of markets do, and not many businesses get together in a fun and exciting manner. So that's how we have such a successful Reader's Choice event. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for listening. And yeah, off to you, Stephanie. I know you are also a queen of promotions, and I can't wait to hear what you have up your sleeve.
Thanks, Jaime. While Mary's queuing up my slides here, I'll just say, I know we only have about 8 minutes left until the top of the hour, so I'll try to speed through here. But if you do have any questions, maybe we can do a Q&A via email or something like that. I think that Julie, John, and Jaime did a great job kind of giving you guys all kinds of ideas on what you can do to increase revenue with promotions. And what I hope to do, I only have a few slides here, is I want to make sure that I show you examples of pricing and what was included, how you approach these advertisers, what you pitch to them, what objections you might get and how you overcome them, and what the advertiser results were. So right now we're looking at a program that the Pocono Record's been doing for 5 years now. It's called Salute to Nurses, and we have our 2 major hospitals and our nurses union involved in this. This year, because of COVID and the timing of Nurses Week, which is in May, we got a tremendous amount of action with people uploading and wanting to pay tribute to their favorite nurses. So if you go to the next slide, Mary, I just have in the deck here an example of what was given and what we're charging for it. So one of the objections that we had to actually the nurses union participating to this program was, you're putting out a special section with, a bunch of photos of nurses and some sweet things that the readers have wrote in about them. But is there any opportunity for us to kind of put in our own spin on how we appreciate nurses and what we do for nurses? So we were able to morph the package into, when you buy a full page of ad space, you can also have a full page for content submission. And then of course we want to see that content submission so we can make sure, it follows all of our, rules for publishing. But that was something that was just so easy to overcome. Both of the hospitals want to have equal, share of voice. They want to have their logos the same size. They want to have premium positioning. So all that kind of stuff was easy to overcome with just giving them what they asked for. So you can see here, our package was $2,400. We got it from those 3 major sponsors. And then we had a couple of smaller packages available just for businesses who just wanted to get their name attached to this promotion. We've talked a lot about delivering leads, and with healthcare organizations, they're not so much interested in leads as they are brand awareness and just attaching their name to a feel-good kind of promotion. So promotions can also do that for your big healthcare players as well. Next slide, excuse me. I just have a couple of examples of ads that we did. We have a print ad on the left. We have a digital ad on the right. There's a link in here, poconorecord.com/nurses, if you want to actually go see our live photo gallery. We keep that live. And last thing I wanted to just bring to your attention was we also got a massage therapy business involved. So we're able to award a deserving nurse a massage. And then also we added like the person that nominated that person also would be eligible for a massage. So we got 2 massages, and that's just a nice way, to appreciate those people and get more entries. The reason why I wanted to show you this is because I'm now working with one of the hospitals to do an annual Healthcare Heroes that's going to be specifically for their network. So only employees of their hospital network are going to be able to enter to win. And they asked, like, what can we do for these people? Like Gatehouse/Gannett is doing this nationally. We're giving away $5,000 cash every single month to a healthcare hero. So that's not always going to be awarded in my market. Hopefully at least one will be. But the healthcare organization wanted to know, like, what can we do? And so I just said, like Amazon gift card, Visa gift card, a gift certificate to a spa, gift certificate to a nice restaurant that maybe these healthcare workers wouldn't treat themselves to. And so they love that. So you can take this to the next level. And I just wanted to say that by doing something smaller like this, it can turn into something much, much bigger. The next slide, Mary, just shows the cover of our special section and also what an email blast looked like when we were reaching out to people to nominate their favorite nurses. And then the section where we published photos of all of the nurses that were recognized and the little essays that people wrote in. Similar to what Jaime said with barrier of entry, this is a higher barrier of entry where people have to write something in, but definitely, the healthcare organizations see value in just all the branding that we do with all the print ads, the social posts, the email blasts, the digital ads on newspaper.com. So the outcome I'm going to talk about is now we have these health networks that are interested in doing more stuff like this. So we do a Pocono medical directory where we have a directory of all kinds of health organizations and the specialists that participate in those. That's a digital directory, as well as a printed directory. Paint It All Pink, which we're coming up on again, is another. It's more of quizzes and raising awareness for breast cancer. So we have different quizzes that people can participate in, and we give away tickets to, last year we gave away tickets to events. So this year we're going to have to figure something else out because there's not too many events going on, but I'm sure we could do restaurant gift certificates. Everybody loves being treated to dinner out. And Reader's Choice. So where we typically didn't seek participation from big health networks in our Reader's Choice or Best of the Best, now they're spending upwards of $10,000 each, again, for brand awareness and recognition. These are some of the quizzes that we have been asked to do as a result of the Paint It All Pink quizzes. So in a couple of slides, I'm going to show you the actual results, but quickly I'll just tell you here that we generated between $1,600 and $3,000 each for a bariatric quiz, colorectal quiz, National Physical Therapy Month, and National Epilepsy Month. As a result of doing quizzes to raise awareness of health issues and just so that the health networks can see what we can do to raise awareness for those things. They asked us to customize these for them, which we easily could do. And then the next slide goes into the Paint It All Pink package, so you can kind of see there. And so this helps me help you understand like how we approached the hospital with this. So this is an actual slide from the presentation deck that we did. So yes, it lays out everything you get, what the value is, how much it costs, but then there's a link in here to taking the quiz. And that's where we were able to like sit across the table or sit on a Zoom meeting like this and say, let's click on this. And it gives them like, here's the questions, here are the multiple choice. what is your answer, and really gets them engaged in the process. So they love it after that. Next slide, Mary. This is very pink, but that's what Breast Cancer Awareness Month looks like, right? So this is a quiz that we did for St. Luke's Hospital called "What is your breast, or test your breast cancer knowledge," where you can see the actual quiz page here with the first quiz. I know it's kind of small, but you're going to get this deck, and how we were able to take the ad space around the wrapper there and really point out all of the key selling points or the unique selling propositions for St. Luke's new regional breast center in our county. So this was a result of doing the salute to nurses, and then really after I show you the results here for what we gave the hospital for Paint It All Pink, that's when they asked those custom quizzes. Next slide, Mary. So these are actually screenshots from the platform. So the hospital could see like what the age demographic was of the participants, how many people took the quiz, how many times they took it, what their skew was male, female, and how many opt-ins we got. So we got 127 opt-ins to our list from this one healthcare quiz, or this one test your breast cancer knowledge quiz. Next slide, Mary. This is another example of what we're doing for Paint It All Pink this year. So I wanted to show you this because you still have time to do this. And we're going from asking for $1,800 or $2,400 to $4,000. And we're including things like not only print, not only ads on newspaper.com, but email blasts, social media posts, and then ads that are targeted to their most desirable audience. I'm sure most of you on the call today can do like geo, demo, and behavioral targeting with your digital ads. And we show them an ad that says, enter here to take this quiz, maybe for a chance to win a Pamper Yourself day at the spa, and drive traffic back to that contest page that is covered with ads for your advertising sponsor to raise awareness of all of their unique selling propositions. So you not only gather the data and get the opt-ins, but you have a message about what the sponsor is trying to promote, and you have it for all of those ads as well. And then the last slide just talks about the healthcare heroes, and this is going to wind up being a $48,000 spend from one of the healthcare organizations. Again, they're going to customize it so just employees from their healthcare organization can enter to win. They're going to supply a monthly prize, and then our media company is backing that up with a national prize of $5,000 a month for 12 months. So these little like $1,800, $2,400 asks are turning into $4,000 and $50,000 wins for us, because we've been doing it for so many years and kind of building upon our success. Oh my gosh, we're way over on time. I'm so sorry. So I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you so much for your time. I'll turn it back over to you, Mary.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. And I do believe we had some questions submitted, but given the time, I appreciate everyone staying with us during this time. We did run over, but I think that's because we had some really excellent content. So with that, I am going to wrap up and conclude the webinar. I want to take a moment and thank you, Julie, John, Jaime, and Stephanie. We greatly appreciate your time and your expertise. And thank you again to all of our attendees. for joining us today. We will send a follow-up communication, and that will include a link to the recording for this, as well as the decks. Our speakers have all graciously offered to share those with you. And if you have any questions specifically at that time, please do feel free to forward those to me, and I can forward them to the speakers for their responses. So I hope you have a great day, and if you get a chance to check out the other America East sessions, please do. Thank you again.
Thank you.